Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Sean with Down South Armory, and first off, I want to apologize about how long it's been since I've posted a video. It's just been the weather down here in Georgia has sucked. The trees are starting to put out, and I've just felt like absolute crap. Anyways, if y'all watched my Ruger AR-556 range report video and y'all read through the comments, y'all may have seen where I had put the Ruger Elite 452 trigger pack into my AR-556. Now, obviously I haven't got the group with it yet or take it out and shoot it. So this is just more of a tabletop review of my impressions with the Ruger Elite 452. So to start off, why did I go with the 452? I went off with the Ruger because, honestly, it just made sense. $120, you get a nice two-stage, what the Ruger boasts to be a 4 to 4.5 pound trigger pull. And, you get this nice little jig here, but, whoopee. I wound up giving this to my oldest son to let him practice trigger control. Now, when I first got the trigger, and I tested it there at the store, it had a kind of a spongy take up. I'd say it was about 4 pounds. And it had a bit of an over travel. But when I got it home, I wound up putting it in my AR. All that went away. It went away. And honestly, I don't know the technical term for it, but a trigger pull gauge. That's just what I'm going to call it. But my neighbor does. And when I got it into the gun, the over travel was gone. The spongy take up was gone. And it felt a lot lighter than 4 to 4.5 pounds. When we got the trigger pull gauge on it, it wound up breaking. I did it 3 times. It wound up breaking at, I think the first one was 3.4. Then it went to 3.6, and I think the third one was 3.6. So anyways, I was amazed. 3.5 pound trigger pull for $120. Now, I will say also this trigger that is in the jig right now is the factory trigger that Ruger sent with my 5.56. And I can tell you right now, it has gone the two, I don't believe it was a 2-stage in the first place, but it has gone from maybe a 6 to 7 pound trigger pull to, I would definitely say it's somewhere around, 9 to 11 pounds. It's as bad as my neighbor's Tavor, factory Tavor trigger, just as far as the break goes. So, and then obviously in this, and obviously I can't demonstrate, what the trigger pull is, in a video, but it is definitely much softer and much lighter than 4.5 pounds. Way, way, way better than 4.5 pounds. I know a lot of you are probably going to have questions, which I didn't fully go into detail about why I chose the Ruger. Now, if any of y'all have had Ruger firearms in the past, you know how finicky Ruger's customer service and their shop can be concerning aftermarket parts in their guns. I had a Mark, a Mark 77 in 30-06 that I sent back to them. Just because, the firing pin broke in it. Well, I had some aftermarket parts on the gun, and when I got the gun back, they were gone. And when I called Ruger up, they stated that it was because they do not ship any aftermarket parts back with the gun. It is simply the gun leaves the way it left the factory. Now, before I bought the trigger, I did call Ruger's customer service and asked them if I installed the Elite 452 in my AR. If I ever had to send this gun back, would my 452 be in there? and they stated since it was a Ruger part that they would leave it in the gun. So, hey, there's another plus. I do hope to get out soon and do some grouping with this trigger and see how much it tightens up the groups, because I think my last groups were somewhere around a little over an inch was the best group, and the average was about 1.25 inches, which at 100 yards, which in my opinion isn't bad. Also, I want to state concerning the last video about the Ruger that I put out, people were saying, asking me when I stated that this rifle group's better than the DPMS or the Smith & Wesson Sport. Now, I should have thought about that people would get butt hurt over that comment. All I stated was that, in my opinion, in my experience, the Ruger group's better than either of those two rifles. Now, the M&P Sport that I owned was a first gen. It didn't have the dust cover or the forward assist or anything like that. I know that they have a Smith & Wesson M&P Sport 2, and it's at the same price point as this rifle, or at least at the gun store that I purchased this rifle from. But I'm happy enough with my Ruger. I'm not going to go out and buy another AR. I'm not going to do it. Not when this one fills all the needs that I have. Also, as I stated, I went with the Ruger trigger because of what Ruger told me over the phone, the price point of the trigger, and just how the trigger felt when I put it into the lower receiver. So that should put to rest any Ruger fanboy comments. But anyways, I hope within the next week to 2 weeks, don't hold me to it, but I hope within the next week to 2 weeks I can get out and group this rifle. Now, I did leave the 0 on with the Wolf Gold 223 55 grain. So that's what go ahead and give you a heads up. That's what the next grouping will be with. So anyways, hope y'all enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to leave a comment, ask a question. I'm more than happy to respond. And we'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.